Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and if you had seen my recent Marco Makes unboxing, you will know that I had acquired some of these amazing Prehistoric Planet, or in Marco's case, now Mesozoic Planet figures, and I have two to take a look at, and we are going to check the first one out today, which is the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I absolutely adore Marco and all of the work that he has done when it comes to his rubber sores and all of the other stuff that he has been creating. He is on a roll when it comes to incredible figures and has been ever since I discovered Marco Makes. However, he recently has gone a little bit of a different path as far as his dinosaur figures, and he normally is making like Jurassic Park, Jurassic World type figures. He has now begun creating some Prehistoric Planet style figures, and just like me, he is a huge fan of the Walking with Dinosaurs series, and that's kind of what his inspiration was for these. And of course, he was a huge fan of Prehistoric Planet as well, so he went ahead and created some really cool dinosaur figures, obviously replicating the Prehistoric Planet versions of the dinosaurs that you see, but in a very Walking with Dinosaurs style, and that's definitely what I see here with his Tyrannosaurus Rex. It honestly is about as perfect of a replication for a Tyrannosaurus Rex from Prehistoric Planet as it gets, because I don't think that a better figure could be made of this Rex. This is perfect. And again, he also is so good at creating box art for his figures. And you can see that this one shows off the beach setting, and that is where we are introduced to this T-Rex. And you can also see again the Marco Makes logo down here, Tyrannosaurus, as well as a shot of the head sculpt of the Rex over here kind of creeping in from the side. And you can also see handmade dinosaur figure for adult collectors only, made in England. You also have his Mesozoic Planet logo up there, and then Coasts again, which is the episode where you meet this T-Rex. And you can see the T-Rex is just kind of hanging on here on the front of the packaging with a few straps. And then here on the back, you can again see Tyrannosaurus, Coasts, and you have a really cool image of the Rex replicating the scene where the family of Tyrannosaurs are swimming through the ocean to try to get to a different area. And that's again, perfectly replicated here on that beautiful image on the back. You also have an image over here of the size of the Rex compared to a human being. And then down here, we have a little bit more information. It states that T-Rex is part of a group of dinosaurs called theropods, and one of the key features of this group of dinosaurs is they had large, very muscular, bird-like hind limbs, which were mostly built for walking and running, but such legs can also be effective in swimming. A powerful kicking motion would have allowed theropods like T-Rex to cross large bodies of water, and in the fossil record there is direct evidence of exactly this. Score-like marks known as swim traces created when the claws of the two-legged dinosaurs like T-Rex scraped the sediment on the bottom of lakes, rivers, and seabed as they swam. And then you can also see handmade dinosaur figure again for adult collectors only, made in England, and the Marco Makes logo over there. So I am beyond excited to actually have one of these in hand. I've been watching the progress of these for quite some time, so to officially have one in hand and have an opportunity to take a look at it with you guys is super, super awesome. So I'm going to try to sneak this Rex out of the packaging without damaging anything and without damaging the straps, so I can hopefully return him back in here. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but regardless, I will be right back with this Tyrannosaurus released from its packaging to give it a nice good review. So here is our T-Rex, and look at that, it stands perfectly, but I didn't place it very well in the camera. But it is absolutely beautiful. It's nice to have it out of the packaging, kind of get a look at it from both sides, all sides, honestly. I took a brief second there just to check it out before bringing it in, and it is an absolute beauty of a T-Rex, that is for sure. And again, when I say that it recreates that T-Rex from Prehistoric Planet in picture-perfect fashion, that is no lie. This thing is fantastic. Really nice to see that it stands so well also. Again, recreating those kind of Walking with Dinosaurs style figures with these, with much more realistic and much more detailed paint jobs. But they, of course, would have that stagnant pose where they're just kind of standing there like this. And in my opinion, that kind of sometimes creates a little bit of a concern whether the figures will stand well or not. But he has done a great job of making sure this Rex stands. It stands perfectly. There is no balance issues at all with this. So let's go ahead and jump straight to a closer look at this gorgeous model right now. So starting up here at the head sculpt of the T-Rex, look at how picture perfect that head sculpt is when it comes to recreating the T-Rex from Prehistoric Planet, like that is exactly how it looks. We've got lips on the Rex and everything. And what's even cooler about this in general, of course, it's awesome enough that it is a Prehistoric Planet version of a T-Rex, but the fact that we have an accurate looking T-Rex from Marco Makes is amazing to me because, again, he's focused so much on like Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, and he's such an incredible sculptor. I always wondered what it would be like if he had created more accurate looking dinosaurs as well, and we now have that opportunity to take a look at what they would look like, and let me tell you, they are awesome. You can see, looking at the head sculpt here, there's some beautiful, very nice scale detail throughout. You can see a lot of it there up around the eye socket and everything, like running up here by the palate and behind the eye and everything. Really nice scale detail. You've got the nostrils sculpted out right there, and a lot of color variation here on the face. You have like some off-whites, quite a few actually different shades of off-whites, as well as some variations of browns. I can kind of see like some grays. Just a ton of coloration in the face of the Rex, and you can also see that around the eye area in the eye socket. It's a nice reddish tone. Again, exactly how you see the Rex in Prehistoric Planet. You can also see as we run up and over the top of the eye area, we have a very nice light, kind of a gray, but it almost looks like it has some slight hints of like pinks and stuff in there as well. You can see running up over the snout as well, we have a nice light gray dry brushing, really highlighting that detail beautifully. And an incredible shot right there from the front with the Rex looking at us. Look at how cool and menacing that is. Even though he doesn't look like the meanest Tyrannosaurus that we've ever seen, I would not want to see that staring me down. There is no doubt there. You can also see, again, as far as the sculpt and detail, as well as the paintwork goes, over here on this side, it is just beautiful. He has done such a good job on the paint. And you can see even like variation of color right here within the darker tones. Like I'm picking up on different grays and browns in there. He's put a lot of paintwork into this, and you can see it's not the biggest figure in the world, so for the paintwork to be as good as it is, that's really quite impressive. Leading up here along the back of the head, you start to see some nice creasing running down the spinal column. You can pick up on the spinal column itself, but of course, you know, with their newest appearance of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, he's a pretty chunky guy, but you can definitely still make out the spinal column a little bit there running along the back. And again, lots of color variation. As you can see, more of those kind of like, again, it's like a light gray that mixes with like almost like browns and pinkish tones. Like there's quite a bit of it, but you can see it kind of running down here and designing really, really cool looking, really nice big thick neck on our Rex. You can also see the throat. We've got a little bit of red down here on the underside of the throat here. Really nice looking skin wrinkles, skin folds, especially as you get down toward the chest. You can see quite a bit of skin wrinkling here in the lower part of the throat of the T-Rex, and a nice amount of color variation down here as well. Even when you see the reddish tones there in the throat, you can also see some, you know, light dry brushing and everything with like some off-whites and different variations of grays. As you lead down here a little bit further, you can see some more skin wrinkles and stuff leading down toward the arm. The arms are held into the body in a really nice, really natural way, nice and small like we would like to see them. A little bit of muscle definition you can see there in the arms though. You can see the fingers as well. You can also see some really nicely painted nails with a black, as well as some more fantastic skin texture down here on the underside, and again some more really nice paintwork. Quite a bit of variation of color there for the underside. You can see the skin texture is actually really, really nicely done down here. As you lead back up here into the side of the stomach region, of course, we have a nice big chunky Rex. You can see some more skin wrinkles and stuff. Here as you lead back toward the thigh, kind of in the lower part of the stomach region leading back there, and you can also see how we have, again, some color variation. You can see quite a few different tones of off-whites and grays and stuff right there before we transition back up to the different variations of, you know, grays, browns, and even I could see like some very dark grays, potentially some blacks and stuff in there, and also kind of like some spotting and stuff here and there. Just crazy amounts of paintwork on this beautiful Rex. As you lead back here, you can kind of make out the hip bone a little bit. Huge muscular looking thigh and calf. Very, very strong Tyrannosaurus, that is for sure. And again, some more really nice skin texture as well as nice coloration. Like I said, the dinosaurs are in a completely stagnant pose, pretty much exactly how the Walking with Dinosaurs figures looked. Unfortunately, I actually don't have the Walking with Dinosaurs T-Rex, so I would have loved to have been able to bring it in and kind of display it here with a comparison at some point with this one, but I don't actually have that figure. It's one of quite a few that I still need to get a hold of. But as you lead down there into the foot sculpt, you can see some nice scoots running down the toes. Again, some nice dry brushing. Very nice looking nails, and I love that the nails genuinely look sharp. Like, you can see that Marco doesn't create these as like toys or anything. They are very highly detailed, very beautiful models, and he shows off every ounce of realism that he can with the models, and you can see that again just right there with the nails looking like they are genuinely sharp. You can also see dew claws back here. Of course, again, more really nice skin texture. That calf muscle is very big and bulging, but considering the weight of this Rex, it's going to need strong legs to carry it around. Nice skin wrinkles and stuff as you move back here toward the tail. And again, as you lead out the length of the tail, you can see tons of color variation. As you reach out here, you sort of almost get like a striping effect there at the tip of the tail. And even though the dinosaur is in a straightforward pose, you can see both legs are in the same position, both arms, the head and neck is in a completely straightforward position. You can see a little curve here to the tail. It leads up and then curves down toward the end. And that is something that you also saw in the Walking with Dinosaurs figures as well back when they were created. So again, it looks perfect as far as honestly everything goes. And of course, you have the complete other side of the Rex, but since it's in a completely neutral position, you're not going to see too much difference over there compared to what you see elsewhere. But you can see again that as far as the sculpt goes, it is incredibly highly detailed. The paint job is fantastic, as well as the screen accuracy again is fantastic. I really wish that they would offer up Marco a contract to, create these figures, at least sculpt them out for them, and then they can send them off to a factory or whatever, paint them, whatever they want to do. But I feel like Marco is so good at this that they really should create a line of dinosaur models for Prehistoric Planet, because it has a huge following already, and I feel like collectors would just absolutely eat them up, like they are currently trying to do when it comes to Marco's releases. But since Marco is just one guy, with I guess Sora helping a little bit here and there, it's a little hard to pump out a mass amount of figures. And it's sad because this thing is fantastic and really should see a gigantic release so everyone can have one, because it's so beautiful. Everyone should have one. So maybe at some point they'll contact Marco and hire him, because he's already got so many of them created. He has a plethora of other dinosaurs from the show already ready to go that he will be releasing over time. But as far as this Rex goes, the initial entry into the Mesozoic Planet line, this thing is honestly amazing. I'm still so impressed with how good this thing stands. But for a size on our T-Rex, for a length, you were looking at right around the 9-inch mark, or around 22.5 centimeters, I would say, roughly. And then height-wise, about the 2.5 inches or 6.5 centimeter area. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line, next to our Mesozoic Planet T-Rex. And you can see again that the figure is a bit on the smaller side, and I would say that honestly makes it a very convenient size. It's not anything that's going to take up too much room in your collection, or wherever you would like to display it, on your desk or wherever. It's not any type of an inconvenient size, because it is nice and small and still contains all of the incredible detail and paintwork you would expect to see on a Marco Makes model. So really nicely sized, honestly. For what this type of figure is, I would say even more impressive now looking at it with the smaller size. And since I don't have the Walking with Dinosaurs T-Rex, I decided to bring in Big Al next to our Mesozoic Planet T-Rex. And you can see again that there is a pretty big difference in size, but you can also see again that Marco's inspiration here was really nicely utilized on his Mesozoic Planet models, because you can see again that same type of a stagnant type of a look. But really cool to see the past and present here together with the Walking with Dinosaurs, as well as the Prehistoric Planet type Mesozoic Planet figures from Marco Makes. And then for one more comparison, there is the Walking with Dinosaurs Postasuchus next to our Mesozoic Planet T-Rex, again showing you the size and the fact that the Rex is a bit on the smaller side, but still just as amazing or even better than the Walking with Dinosaurs figures. And actually, for one more comparison, there is the Tyrannosaurus Rex next to the Mattel Mini Giganotosaurus, as well as the Captives T-Rex. I wanted to show you guys these, here one more comparison with some of the smaller figures that are out there next to our Marco Makes Mesozoic Planet T-Rex. And if there were any other comparisons you guys might like to see, definitely let me know. I'll try to take those pictures, throw them up on my Instagram account. I'm not too sure what other figures would go good with this one as far as a comparison goes. So if there were anything else, let me know. If you have Instagram, of course, I can upload some images there. But this Rex is absolutely gorgeous. So this brand new Mesozoic Planet Tyrannosaurus Rex, or Prehistoric Planet Tyrannosaurus Rex, whatever you'd like to call it, is amazing. Marco has knocked this one out of the park. Like, majorly knocked this one out of the park. This is probably one of my most anticipated figures that was coming out from anyone for an extended period of time, ever since I had found out that Marco was creating some of these, which was right around the time of the release of Prehistoric Planet. I've been just counting the days, honestly, until I could see one of these in person, and I can say with complete confidence, Marco absolutely nailed it when it comes to this Rex. Whether it's the sculpt, the appearance, the paint, everything, it looks so perfect as far as the way it looks in Prehistoric Planet. He really did a great job on this T-Rex. And again, I love the fact that he took the new school Prehistoric Planet and mixed it with the old school Walking with Dinosaurs as far as that same style figure with that kind of stagnant pose, mixing past and present together here for his amazing Mesozoic Planet line. And he has so many other figures that he is going to be releasing in that line that I'm going to continue to stay hyped for this for a very long time as those figures release, because now after seeing this T-Rex in person, I think I'm somehow even more excited about the future of the Marco Makes Mesozoic Planet line. Again, the Rex is fantastic when it comes to a detailing standpoint. There is a lot of really nice fine detail to a beautiful scale detail, fantastic skin wrinkles, skin stretching, muscle definition, everything that you would expect to see. It's all beautifully applied to the figure sculpt and detail-wise. Marco is just getting better and better with honestly every release that he has when it comes to his sculpting and detailing. And yet again, this is a great example of how good Marco just continues to be and how much he continues to improve, which is crazy to me because there was a time where I thought that it couldn't get any better, but he somehow always does it. He always one-ups himself. But again, as far as the paintwork goes as well, it looks pretty much exactly like the Rex did in Prehistoric Planet. He has really studied that T-Rex to make sure that the paint job looked as precise and as screen accurate as it gets, and it definitely looks, again, about as perfect as it gets here on his T-Rex. And I really am just a huge fan of the look of a T-Rex with lips. I think it just looks so nice. So to not only have, again, an accurate version of a Tyrannosaurus from Marco, but one with lips and one that's based on the Prehistoric Planet version, it's just so awesome. And I'm really impressed with how good it stands. The balance is just crazy good for this figure. With how big and beefy this T-Rex is and the really nice naturalistic positioning of the way it's standing, I'm really impressed with how good it balances itself out. But that also kind of shows, how the balance would work with a real T-Rex and how, it kind of evens itself out there with the tail helping to balance it and everything. So again, an unbelievable release from Marco Makes. I always say that when it comes to Marco's figures, he has some of the best figures you'll find anywhere, but it's so cool to see him diving into something that's not Jurassic and creating a beautiful Prehistoric Planet-inspired T-Rex. So if you are interested in this, Marco did recently put some of these up for sale on his Etsy shop. He will be putting more up very soon, and he's going to be taking orders in the future as far as made-to-order versions of this Rex. So make sure you check Marco out on all of his social media outlets. Make sure you keep following him so you know when the next batch of these go up for sale, and make sure you also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.